Hi, this is just a reminder that Photobucket as a corporation entity and a website is never allowed to live down the fact that they were going to charge people $400 to get their photos back that the day before they had claimed would never be erased, they would be up on the internet forever, and you'd always be able to access them if you had a free account. Because subject to change. A contract is something where it's ironclad and both parties have to agree to changes. By definition, a click-wrap license where one side has all the power isn't legally a contract, cannot be enforced in court, and is not valid. Photobucket committed criminal action in this case by demanding people pay them $400 to get their pictures back instead of telling them all of your images are hidden, only you can access them. You have a year to download them, and then we're going to delete your account unless you pay us money, because we can't do free hosting anymore because it's too expensive. That would have been a completely reasonable thing to say. No one would have a problem with it. Instead, they blurred and watermarked, clear watermark, and blurred the image and wouldn't let us download it unless we paid them $400. It was very obvious that was what it was, and they only relented when they figured out that this caused overt lawsuits. Many people use their free service because if you clicked the link, if you made the image clickable, it would go to their page and it would put advertisements up to help pay for the bandwidth. Everyone understood that. All of the images on my website were not hot linked. And hot linking isn't a crime, and it is not bandwidth theft. They permitted it. Then they changed the permission, and I changed every image very laboriously to the preferred format they had. And it included a munged or a hashed version of my account name, so it would go to just the picture itself, not attributing it to me, just the picture. I mean, you could click a link and get to my account. And then, over to the side, it would run an advertisement. They were getting paid. They said they were. They said, that's perfectly fine. You're within terms of service. We'll never delete your images. And then after they told everybody they were going to delete all of their images because all free accounts were going to be deleted, again, pay up. This was obviously coercive. And many people had put up their artwork, and they were holding it hostage. And what happened is that literally everywhere you look, obviously, if you're not aware of it, this is very obviously illegal behavior. You're threatening to destroy a non-tangible but valuable commodity in the form of artwork. Any country that gives a crap about that, which is all of them, would state that you are providing a service and then you're breaking your own terms of your contract and you are causing actual harm. So what you're supposed to do, and Photobucket was told this by their own lawyers, is tell everybody all of the images are hidden, any hot links or clickable links are completely blanked, and it will state image not available, free hosting and hot link, free hosting and image hosting not available anymore on Photobucket, and it would say, to the owner, please go to your page, download all your images. You have until this exact date to get it. That would have been easy. That would have been on them. They're changing their policy. They said they had no choice, which we found out later they did. They were obviously making money from the ads, but then they got greedy. To the tune of $400, again, $400. No, it's not $400 a year. It's $400, period, to get your images. Then they changed it to $50, and then they let people download the images. You had to just go to your account and download it. I used it for a free website, which I still have, which I don't deserve to have. It's on Extend Hosting, and they were nice about not being mad at me for reviewing them badly because they had a really bad time at one point, and I got caught up in it. And they had us have free accounts for the website on X10 by saying, this is to stress test the computers. If we don't need to stress test computers, hard drives, and our networking for our paid accounts, we're not going to have free accounts anymore. And to this day, they still have free accounts, which is aces. Then again, I don't consume any bandwidth because I deliberately made the page all text except for where a picture is absolutely needed. And I made them extremely small file sizes and very easily done through very low bandwidth. And I monitored it to make sure I was under bandwidth. What I did was I'd archive the page, put an archive link at the top, and then erase all the images so it consumed zero bandwidth. And if you clicked it, you'd be using the bandwidth of archive.org or Archive Today, but you wouldn't be using theirs. And it was the same page. And if you clicked things, it would actually take you through an archived version of my web page. It worked well. I've been very scrupulous about that. Some of you may have noticed that my videos are in extremely low resolution, like 100 pixels. You know, it's like a joke here. The reason is YouTube cannot claim I'm exceeding bandwidth if I'm using the lowest resolution they permit. And actually, I'm using a lower one, so they get mad that I'm not using a higher enough resolution. And they still bitch me out for things that have nothing to do with anything I've done and scream about how I should do a paid plan, just like Photobucket did. But unlike Photobucket, YouTube and Google have stated that, and Gmail, if you go stagnant, if you don't use the website or whatever, they'll delete things because you're not using the stuff. And your free account is subject to you having to be told, use the takeout utility, drag all your files off, we're closing your account. They give you enough warning to do that based on how many bytes it is. And again, I make my videos normally very low bandwidth. So they can tell me, yeah, you have 24 hours because you'll easily be able to download them in 24 hours. And then I can request an extra couple of days, and they usually will do that. But instead of doing that, they pulled a Photobucket where they said, we're killing off your account because we don't like you. Okay? Or you can pay us and we won't. Okay, when you do that, it's clear you're demanding people give you money and you're threatening them with essentially cybercide. We'll call it cybercide because it isn't sue and it isn't HAMA. It's cybercide. Photobucket said, give us $400 or we're going to delete you. Like some Call of Duty chat mode try-hard squeaker losing at a video game and complaining that you should be deleted from the internet. And now I'm going to repeat myself. Photobucket cannot be allowed to live this down until they admit that this was a mistake. How they lost and won back their users is an article they put up just long enough for everybody to say, no, your usership has been dropped and kept down. And they're still not getting the $400 a month hot linking capabilities because no one wanted it. Why would you trust a website that said, give us $400 or we'll erase all the pictures of your kids or all the pictures of your dog? And the number of people who were not in compliance, they eventually fessed up to 1% of the entire population that used the website, and maybe 1% of their bandwidth was by people who weren't following the rules by making the images clickable to link back to Photobucket so that they could show an ad to pay for the bandwidth. None of us had a problem with it. They had a problem with because they became greedy, just like Google and YouTube. I don't care if you run ads. I'm going to turn off ads on my computer because I don't want to watch them. I'm going to disable on my YouTube channel monetization because I don't want you to run any ads and potentially benefit me because I want to discourage you from doing it. However, if I exceed bandwidth, if I get too many views, you're allowed to run an ad because I don't have any way of doing anything about it, and it's acceptable to pay for the bandwidth. And again, for the umpteenth year in a row, dear YouTube, you could just run static, non-animated ads over in that box, over in that part of the screen, if any of you are watching, where that one place is where they stick random crap, and just put an ad there. A clickable ad. Don't force us to look at the ads. Don't drag us to some website. Don't do a pop-up making us immediately asking us for credit cards. Don't do the dirty shit we hate you for or every other website for. They're in the business of advertising and making money off of it. And what they're demonstrating to anybody that uses their service is that they don't care about accurately depicting what people are clicking. They'll force you to look at an ad, and they'll force you to look at video content you didn't want, which means people are paying for ads on Google and on YouTube that are being shown to people who didn't click them, but they're paying for the click. That's fraud. Google and YouTube are guilty of fraud. Photobucket was guilty of fraud. Happens on Facebook because maybe nobody cares. Maybe they just want to get it in front of people's faces, and they don't care that it makes people like me say, if you run an ad on YouTube, I won't buy your product. Because you're paying them and rewarding them for wasting my time and deliberately ruining my experience. Now we're going to get to the next thing. Dirty tricks YouTube and Google did this week. Muting the audio. When I unmute it, they mute it again. What other harassing things? They're now able to show me the Limu Emu insurance company ads. which means I will never buy anything from that company and I will never use their services because all I associate them with is putting up an advertisement that then muted the audio and fucked with me for a half hour. Tacitly ruining the user experience on your website isn't the thing you want to be known for. Or you could do what Photobucket did June 28th, 2017, taking everybody they guaranteed a permanent free account with and told everybody in their terms of service that they would give them up to a year to download their files. They would just make them invisible to the net, so they'd have to download them to make them visible, and immediately shit-canned that. No warning, just said give us $400, period. And it was literally that. And I like how it made it $399.99 because for some reason that isn't supposed to just say you're a snide son of a bastard. Why are you comparing it to YouTube? It's the same shit. It's not a slow squeeze or a drip. It's a sledgehammer to the side of the face. We're tired of it. And our response to it is appropriate. If you're going to do something that brutalistic, we're going to do brutal things to you. Instead of allowing through one or two ads, or just put a damn ad in that up there in the corner that you guys can, Google and YouTube consider it wasted space. Put it over there. Go ahead and do it. I mean, for the last month or so, they've been changing the video resolution, which causes a little beach ball of doom to spin on the screen, muting the audio, occasionally grabbing the volume slider and cranking it up too loud or cranking it to 0. I should have seen that coming. And I'm like, is my computer infected? No, it's literally just their website. Redirecting me away from something I clicked to something I didn't click, which inevitably was literally just the ad. It opens up the ad that's an unlisted video, if you're not aware of it, uploaded by the company with some random string of numbers and letters for their channel name, instead of the video I clicked, which was supposed to be Shots, the YouTuber, playing Rust. He doesn't run a channel that has, random string of characters and it's an unlisted and potentially hidden channel just to run ads. They gotten so aggressive that the content that I claimed I was clicking is missing. And it had a comment section that was open. I'm like, you appear to be the advertiser that interrupted me watching a video. I will never buy your product. You're not an advertising company. You're the advertiser for this company. And it was Liberty Mutual's channel. It was their hidden channel for ads. Oh my God, I didn't know YouTube would do something stupid like make it literally like a YouTube channel. I didn't get the channel link because it immediately crashed my browser. Suspicious activity. You mean me looking at a channel you weren't supposed to vend because your website screwed up and let me see behind the curtain? I didn't think they did it that way. I would have thought they would use a special server so it wouldn't get mixed up with anything else. Who knew? So, what is this rant about? Again, in 2017, Photobucket proved to us that they're not trustworthy. They can never get that trust back because they never admitted they did that as a hard sell. And again, they violated their own TOS because they said originally that they would give us up to a year. It was actually up to, anywhere from a month to a year to download our images if we had a terms of service violation or a change of contract requirements and terms of service in general, where they would allow us to opt out and have a year to download our files, but everything would be unlisted and visible. That would have been fine. There were people who were stamp collectors, people selling on eBay, that sort of thing, using this, and it all disappeared. And just put up an ad ironically, put up an ad for Photobucket saying, you can trust us. See how much you can trust us by this image going blank when it's a violation of our own rules. And again, some of you still do advertising through Google and YouTube. Corporations deserve no respect because they practically demand you don't give it to them, because they expend a huge amount of effort proving to us they're not trustworthy, and then bitch when we remember. That's pure spin doctoring. This has been your rant for the day. And by the way, yes, even though I've never ever let Photobucket have any of my time and energy, my Photobucket account is still up. They still have it up. Well, it's subject to deletion. I stopped. I shit-canned all their emails years ago. Every once in a while, they would send me an email saying, well, we only have $50 requirement. I already have my images. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. This has been a rant about corporate evil. and why we don't forget.